Oh, I just realized I've been muted for 70. To assist you, it's always better to do it that way because it's very difficult to move things that are bigger than you around by yourself. I know. I know. I said to stay here for about an hour to 3 hours, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to chill here until something happens. This is what we're going to do. This is why the music's playing, so there isn't technically dead air. So, okay, sounds like we have a request. Depending on the request will depend whether or not I will play the request. It just may take me a moment to find said songs. Okay, we have a request, and hopefully there's no ad because I'm attempting to wait longer than what is needed. Here's the request. Yeah, it's good to know whenever your limit is there, Cammy. It's a very good listen.
You can change my life, baby. Why you drive me crazy? Your water and your chocolate make a brother feel hazy. That's just how you face me. I love how you grace me. You satisfy my thirst. You always seem to amaze me. Oh, damn, baby, I'm missing you lately. I need you like an athlete, some methadone, baby. However you have me, I'm trying to have you. I need it like the people in hell need it too. I want it, you got it. Dripping like water, dripping like water, dripping like water. I want it, you got it. Dripping like water, dripping like water, dripping like water. I've been waiting so long just to get you alone. I got something on my mind, you need to turn off your phone. I get drunk as hell when I drink at you, and don't you know it? I be so
just playing a request at this moment.
I be counting on it like the days until payday. You know the feeling, babe. The water shut up and other business paid. I be counting the days till we get later. Counting moments till I show you what I made of. Oh, damn, baby, why you drive me crazy? Your water and your chocolate make a brother feel hazy. That's just how you face me. I love how you grace me. You satisfy my thirst. You always seem to amaze me. Oh, damn, baby, I'm missing you lately. I need you like the fat you hate some sugar-free candy. However you have me, I'm trying to have you. I need it like the people in hell need it too. I want it, you got it. Dripping like water, dripping like water, dripping like water. I want it, you got it. Dripping like water, dripping like water, dripping like water. If you want it, let's do it. Ride it, my home, my saddle's waiting, coming. Jump on it, you want it, let's do it. Ride it, my pony, my saddle's waiting, it. Jump on it. If you know it, let's do it. Ride it. My phone, my saddles. Waiting, like coming. Jump on it. You want it. Let's do it. Ride it. My phone, my saddles. Like waiting, like coming. Jump on it.
Okay, that was our request. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. We're going to sit here, and we're going to continue to sit here for at least an hour. We're going to at least be here an hour. Of just randomly playing music and blah blah blah. Yeah, sheeple. Sheeple are very scared. They go, man. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. They don't know what to do whenever they're confronted with something real. They just jump and run in the opposite fucking direction. Not sure why, but yeah, it happens. I just realized I have to do something after 13 minutes, 33 seconds. I have to make sure I go into YouTube and make sure everything's done right. Well, take out your shears and your manure like I've taught you and do what you need to do with them sheeple there, DQ. Exactly what you do. You shear them with the sheeple shears and then you smack them at least 3 times with manure. Exactly what you do. You know everything has to do with them because being nice, that's insanity. We've been nice to them too long. We're doing a repeated action expecting a different result. We're continuously being nice to them whenever we're also expecting that them to change and evolve and become awake. Yes, Cammy, that's considered cognitive dissonance. That's exactly what it's considered, cognitive dissonance.
And once I smash, I'm gone.
That's all you gotta do. Yes, video is updating. Yes, our viewer is back, if they may be a different viewer. Oh, trust me, it's 87% of the population. It's 80% of the population that is, well, basically say below par of comprehension of understanding of reality itself. Pretty much. And what I mean by below par is able to actually survive what is to come. Not accept what is to come, but survive it. Yeah. To some, it's a gruesome thought that they do not like to visit what will occur whenever, well, it's known as the pop to a few. is it like 7.8 billion, Cameron? It's about 7.8 billion to my memory recollection. Yeah, that's what you have to do, DQ. You always have to remain calm. Your calm is your greatest weapon. It's truth bomb. Oh, we need to skip this song. This is a skip song. We gotta skip this. That's a little too much. Okay, we can have this one. This one works. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everything is either a lie or hearsay. Because technically, even if you're speaking with the person that witnessed an event occur, because time has progressed, that witness is hearsay because their mind is telling them what they are able to process from what they have remembered. So it's brain said, so you can say scenario. So that's what hearsay is. He said, she said. Unless you was legitimately there, witnessing the event at the point in time, and at that point in time is the only time that it's truth and not hearsay. Once the event is over and time has begun to pass, it has become hearsay because all it is now is memories. And here's the extremely funny answer to the punchline of this joke. Oh, fine. Just keep on skipping. Let's find out what's next on the list of the Quee. Excuse me for a moment as I jump us to a song. Oh yeah, I try to make sure that I'm playing the more decent of my tunage that I have. Yes, I will state. Look what we got.
Hey, good day.
We have a customer.
How are you doing?
Okay, I cannot hear you, Brenda.
Wow. Okay, let me go back out. I'll come back.
No, I cannot hear you. I know you're making noise. I know you was making noise, but there was no sound coming from my end. I muted the music. Okay. If you want to try again, that beat meant that my sound... Okay, I'm extremely busy at this moment. I'm actually live right now. Can you make this extremely quick? Okay, so the answer would be I apologize, but no, I will allow you to know whenever I am done. Because I'm actually live on YouTube as we speak right now. All right, Trips. I apologize for the interruption. So, let's try this again.
Hello.
Yes, there's a Brenda there now.
There is.
Excuse me.
How are you doing?
I'm doing grand. Is there a particular direction you'd like to spin this? Because I was just stating before all the chaos ensued for a brief moment, that I extremely enjoyed the way that Alga was interviewing me that time whenever I was on his show.
Yeah.
It was very interesting, and I haven't had anybody actually attempt to do that kind of format with me. Besides, we were already in friendly company. We're already at the levels where we need to be, and we can formulate conversations most people won't understand instantly.
Yes.
I never ran into an interview format of such.
I like the interview format. You can sort of direct which way you want to go, and it's easier when someone asks you questions. You get the feedback.
Yes, very much so. As you notice, I've been sitting here for more or less 25, 38 minutes by myself rambling, because that's what I decided to name it, Ramblin' with Z, because this is more or less what we're going to be doing for roughly an hour to 3 hours.
Rambling on.
Pretty much reading chat, see what happens, listening to tunes.
Yeah, I don't know if I can stay for 3 hours, but
Of course, if there's anything you'd like to directly ask, do not mind. Fuck your feelings and fuck mine too. That's my answer to any question you wish to ask.
yeah. So what do you? I'll ask you a question. So what do you think is going to happen pertaining to the president?
From what I'm reading, Trump is actually backing out more and more of his lawsuits that he's filed to claim.
Yeah.
He is not accepting nor conceding, but Biden is moving right along in like he's supposed to do.
Yeah, he's gonna remove him from the office, but like, can he go into the White House and take over? He's not even.
He is not allowed to officially step foot inside the White House unless invited.
Yeah.
Until inauguration day. Once he becomes inaugurated, that's like eviction. Trump is evicted and Biden is in. Nobody
Yeah.
can say
Well,
nothing.
Biden wants to go measure for curtains and stuff.
No. You must be invited in to do any kind of anything, even if it's a stupid reason.
Yeah. I can't remember the transition with Obama, but Obama let him come in, right?
Oh yeah, they shook hands. Obama dropped right back as soon as, yeah, that's exactly what it was. Obama dropped right back. There was no ill will or anything. Obama actually, and if I remember correctly, Obama invited him.
Yes,
And
he did for the transition, and
yes. Instead of Trump having to ask to come in, Obama was like, "Hey, I need you to come here so we can have a conversation."
yeah, I remember that.
But Trump is not having that. To go deeper into detail, I do not agree with what is currently occurring, but this is what I personally think. Trump is showing us the awakened people who realize that the voting system has been rigged and always has been rigged.
Yeah,
That it is rigged. There's
your
enough.
vote don't count.
There's enough evidence. I'll get to that part in a moment. There's enough evidence that they decide whatever they want to, and it's all predetermined anyway.
Yes, it all is scripted.
And to the point of your vote doesn't count, if you
Yeah.
actually read, what you get whenever you register to vote and stuff like this, the little pamphlet of all your what is there. There's literally a section where I can't do verbatim, but I can more or less paraphrase what it states. Your vote goes into a pile where it is counted, and it is not the deciding factor, but it influences the entity that is the electoral college of that state, what they will decide. So in other words, your vote is just an influence. It literally means jack shit. Whatever the entity in the head of the electoral college decides, that's what occurs.
Yeah.
That one person at the head of it all of the electoral college, that entity decides what the entire state votes. This is why I don't vote, because my vote doesn't count. Only his does. Only theirs does. Excuse me for specifying a gender, because there is male and female electoral college entity.
Yeah. Are you
But
there?
was I muted?
I don't know. All of a sudden, I felt like I didn't hear you, but I hear you well. Can you hear me?
Yes. What was there anything that wasn't heard from my conversation?
No, I heard everything you said. It just
Okay.
sort of like something happened. I don't know exactly what, but
I flipped tabs. Did I glitch out for a moment?
yeah.
Oh, now I flip tabs. This is what occurs at points in times. I have multiple tabs open, making sure that in case somebody is looking at stuff, they can know where to come to.
Yeah.
Thank you, What's Her Face. Thank you very much for relaying on the live end of watching that everything was spoken correctly.
Hi,
Because-
Watts.
So
Is she going to come in?
I don't know.
She could join us.
I'll drop the link again. If anybody wants to come in and state anything, I don't mind. That's why I said, fuck my feelings and fuck yours too. Ask a question. Don't ask to ask a
Okay,
question.
so pertaining to the election with the Dominion thing they're talking about, the voting scam. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I muted myself.
Yeah.
So
What is the Dominion thing? Like the machine or the vote count?
are you talking about the actual machine that you go in and you push buttons on it and that's how your vote is counted instead of the old way where people used to punch holes in paper?
Yeah, like the hanging chad.
Well, technically, okay, Smurfer girl. Technically, I've come to the understanding and have been told by several people directly to my face, not from a YouTube video or anything, but I've been told directly to my face that they've seen that they've hit a button and it's highlighted their vote. And whenever they went to go push the accept button or the yes button or whatever it is,
Yeah.
their vote flipped and then the page changed.
Okay, so I haven't checked it out into detail, but
It's
they
controlled.
want to go over that same system that we have here. That they want to recheck Justin Trudeau's
And
voting, because there was a vote. We re-elected him last October 2019.
I haven't personally researched this other evidence, but I have come across somebody on YouTube stating that the actual machines that we use, and what was the number? I think it was 78% of voting locations across the United States are owned by a specific country. Now, let's go off on this leaf real quick and explain this. We do not want foreign international meddling in anybody's national votings, correct? That's wrong, correct? We don't want international meddling in them.
No,
correct?
no, we don't need that.
Not pointing to any specific country or anything. We just, that's not good, correct?
No, it's not.
Okay. Let's tell you what this person presented. that the actual booth, the actual machine that you cast your vote on,
Yeah.
comes from someplace in Europe, comes from a country in Europe.
Okay. I'll have to research this stuff.
Um, I don't know how long that live stream was because they go live for hours at a time and present so much information at once. But the actual machines are created and distributed from a country in Europe. So, like any company, there's going to be a way that you can backdoor your own machine.
Yeah.
That's automatically international meddling on the highest of scales.
Yeah.
Because technically, our people over here, those people that are in Congress and the House and et cetera, all these people,
The Senate, yeah.
how did they get in there? Money. And money,
Yeah,
what's the
it's all
face of
they all
Venezuela?
have to have a padded pocket to go in, right?
Yeah. Yes, it's money. So they paid their way to be in there. So what makes you think they will not pay the actual company that creates the voting machines because they have the auto master key to go into the back door of every one of the voting machines and make sure that it looks the way that they want it to look and everything happens the way they want it to happen.
Yeah. Okay, so with this fraudulent system, like from all aspects of the voting, right? Shouldn't there be new laws pertaining to
This is
just
why I
one
disagree.
mode?
This is why I disagree with Trump pulling out of his lawsuits.
Well, he's got nothing to stand on. Maybe that's like what does he have to challenge, right? The system that's set up.
But there's all this evidence of this obviousness.
See, this is what happens here in Canada when whoever wins as prime minister becomes prime minister of Canada, the opposition still represents the people, and so they are in parliament, and so they can defend their province and defend their district, right? So I think that that would be a good change. That like Trump lost, say he lost, but he still would be part of holding them accountable for what they've done.
Yes, because there's blackmail and fraud and lies all around the entire voting system. Excuse me. And the entire thing is that Trump went in there with enough evidence to point to each thing. Yeah, puff puff pass. You want some? To point to each individual circumstance of this is where it's rigged, this is how it's rigged, this is where it's rigged, this is how it's rigged, etc., etc., etc. But now he's pulling back slowly but surely every single one of these disagreements is what I have to call them now.
Yeah.
They're not even arguments anymore. They're just disagreements with the way the system is written.
Well, the system is set up to fail you, right?
Yes, the system is set up to fail the sheeple.
Yeah.
And fail any citizens, i.e. slaves, within the country. Because the business of a country, even though it may or may not understand that the lifeblood of the entire company is the citizens that are flowing through and making everything occur, they don't care about them to a certain aspect because they see them as the least commodity in their system that they're working with.
Yeah. So now they say that Trump had 71 million votes. Like what was the how many out of the 340 million get to What was my question? The 340 million, how many of them are eligible to vote?
Okay, this is the way I look at voting itself. Voting is done in the 24-hour span of the first Tuesday in November,
Yeah.
whatever it's scheduled to do on its year thing. How you doing, Talk Dads? But here's the thing. During only that 24-hour period, that means all votes received. That doesn't mean postmarked. I mean, once it has actually came to the location of the voting booth, if it is not there within the 24-hour period, it cannot be counted. Period. End of story.
Yeah,
Only
so anything that came
accumulated
in
in the
after
file.
8 p.m. on Tuesday shouldn't be valid.
No. The 24-hour period, 12 a.m. to 12 a.m.
Okay.
I will agree to that much because that is technically voting day,
Yes.
24 hour.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anything before or after, anything before, sure, because we had to do the stupidity of mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
So it's already in the pile. So everything that progresses, including the mail that gets delivered to their voting ballot that day, not postmarked, if it's delivered and there in the pile before midnight, whenever it becomes November 4th, only this one pile is allowed to be counted. Anything after, no, that's, you should just burn it.
Yeah, it should go in the burn pile.
Yeah, it's no.
Under
It's,
G, garbage.
No.
So that technically.
Yes, dead people have voted as well. I will agree with this. This is another thing. We need to comb through the pile and find, and I mean manually comb through the pile.
Yeah.
And I don't mean a computer run through the pile and check birth dates, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. No, we need to manually run through piles and see, while we're counting them, we see, okay, valid, invalid. All right, time to check the votes. That's the first thing you do. You see if it's a valid or invalid vote before you even look at what the vote is.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems like it's simple.
Yeah, that's
like,
the tactic, man. That's how, that divide and conquer. That's how come the reason. That is the reason why us people who are awakened, ascended, etc., and beyond,
yeah,
so spread out apart on this prison rock.
Yeah. It's like a torture chamber, I tell you.
Because honestly, I know it. I know it will take the accumulation of everything on the planet to cause a shutdown of the machine that's going across the planet.
Yeah, well, now it's a rage against the machine, right?
No, the sheeple are feeding the machine. That's what it is. It's feed the machine. It's not rage against the machine. It's they're feeding the machine.
Yeah. Okay, so whichever way this election goes and the outcome of whoever it's going to be, Joe Biden or Donald Trump, do you think there will be a backlash against whoever gets in?
No. It'll be nothing like the 4 years of Trump. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And I'll tell you why.
Why?
The simple reason is because Biden is the meatiest person. And I'm going to be very gross about this. They will rub and polish his nuts the entire fucking time.
Like a brass monkey, right?
Yep. Third truth bomb, 1 hour in.
Oh.
It will be nothing like the previous 4 years where they've ridiculed the president, which is a federal offense, by the way.
Well, it is very disgusting too how the mainstream media and how social media just We're so savage, right?
Savage.
Yeah, like towards him.
Gosh,
But
they
he
were
well,
worse
one
than
good thing is
hyenas and
that he didn't
piranhas
play
put
back.
together. They were worse than hyenas and piranhas put together. Like, oh my gosh, they came at him from all angles. What do you expect the man to do except for fight back?
Yeah.
Well, what would any of us do if we suddenly got attacked from all angles from creatures that are larger than us and want to eat us? There is no running because they're coming from everywhere.
Yeah, like
You have
vultures,
to
right?
stay in your ground.
Yeah. But so that is not of God. None of it.
Okay, where did this conversation just go?
No, I'm just saying it's not coming from a loving place.
No, the
It's coming from
entities
a
that.
sinister place.
Okay, real quick. The face of a company is the CEO, is the spokesperson, more or less, the human relations person. The
Yeah.
face of a country is the leader. So the people that are actually behind the scenes pulling the strings, no, that's a darker evil than what I can even fathom to become, and I'm lawful evil.
Yeah, well, shadow cabinet, you have to know where what that means, right?
Yeah. That's because Obama has been the shadow president for the past 4 years, and if they get Biden in there, that becomes the shadow president is actually the president.
Yeah, well,
It's a little
Obama's moving
complicated,
in,
but you
right?
dive
And
into it.
and Hillary and Obama.
Oh yeah, this is why Hillary became Secretary of Cotton Licking whenever Obama was in office.
Yeah.
And I said that for a reason. That's actually truthful. Because Hillary has a girlfriend and despises Bill. Hillary's really a lesbian. And
Well,
Bill
she
really,
wears the pants in the family anyway.
and Bill really has a black son. No offense
She
to
wears.
anybody, but Bill has a black son.
Yeah, well, that was rumored, right? But
No, that's actually
but it
that,
is fact. It is
yeah,
fact.
yeah.
What did he say? Allegedly.
Just like Barack Obama's real name is Barry Sagetto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like I love this saying. I came up to it. Robin Williams is to Mrs. Doubtfire. Are you with me?
Yeah.
As Tim Osmond is to Osama bin Laden. Think about what Robin Williams is to Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
Now, Tim Osmond is an official badged CIA agent of the United States of America. If I said Robin Williams is to Mrs. Doubtfire as Tim Osmond is to Osama bin Laden, what does that tell you about what Osama bin Laden did? That basically tells you America attacked itself.
Exactly. From within, right?
Yes, and they are terrorizing their people with this event every year and constantly, just like they're doing with this pandemic. They are terrorizing the sheeple. And trust me, I know what terrorism is. I was charged with it at 17. Terrorism is where your actions or words make a group of people in fear. That is terrorism. And that's exactly what the mainstream media is doing.
Oh,
That's
yeah. It's
what all these
all
alphabet
fear.
companies are doing. They're scaring the sheeple so that they look at the person talking, whenever in reality the person's talking is the one that set off the bomb behind them, so that they can turn around and look at the stage. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened there. I didn't do anything. So apparently that's a warning. Time has progressed and we need to do this again.
Yeah, I missed a few things what you said. Somehow I got booted out of here.
Where was it that it got left off?
You were talking about Hillary. That was the last that I heard.
Oh wow, I don't know how far back that was in my brain. Wow. You might have been gone for a moment.
Yeah, at least a minute. You were saying about Hillary and okay, so yeah, that's basically where.
Okay, you're still talking there, so let's see
That's
something.
okay. You just continue
Rodney
on what you were
Williams is
saying.
the Mrs. Doubtfire. Are you with me?
Yeah, yeah.
As Tim Osmond is to Osama bin Laden. That's a replay. Think about what Osmond as Tim Osmond is. That basically tells you America attacked itself.
Yeah, exactly. From within, right?
Yes, and they are terrorizing their people with this event every year and constantly, just like they're doing with this pandemic. They are terrorizing the people. And trust me, I know what terrorism is. I was charged with it at 17. Terrorism is where your actions or words make a group of people in fear. That is terrorism. And that's exactly what the mainstream media is doing.
Yeah,
That's
exactly
what all these companies are doing.
Okay.
They're scaring the people so that they look at the person talking, whenever in reality the person talking is the one that set up the bomb behind them, so that they can turn around and look at the stage. I don't know what happened. I don't know what. And that's where we were. So they turn around. And that's where we were. That's pretty much where they were. Because the person on the stage is talking, and the people are running around saying bad, bad. So the person on stage sets off an explosion behind them. So all the sheeple congregate and look at them because it's the opposite direction that the explosion came from. This is actually me talking now.
Yeah.
So you're caught up to where we were on the conversation because that's where you dropped off. Because I went back to the video and I was like, ding, 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 ding. Okay, this is where we are.
Okay, yeah. So we're so they attacked themselves from within.
Yes, literally, it was a complete coup. And one of my other people from another group I know that runs a live stream a lot of times, Grandmaster sets me up with the multiple deaths of Osama bin Laden, and this is quite simple to explain. Every, I'll say that 4 times.
Yeah.
Face of the company, which means leader of a country, has duplicates or body doubles or doppelgangers. So each of these have to individually die.
Yeah.
If somebody is assassinated. This is why there was multiple deaths of Osama bin Laden.
Oh yeah. How many times?
About 4. About 4. Because Grandmaster and I go over it all the time. Because every time I state that, he sets me up for this. And I'm like, yeah, this is why.
I don't know. It's a big mess. How do we get out of here, right? That's the point. Like, how do we turn our own world around when we're?
I don't know. I can just tell you what I know. I'm a hermit. I lived underneath a rock for nearly 20 years. I decided to come out of my rock. I stood on top of it and I looked around and I was like, what the fuck happened? I slowly lifted up my rock. I got back underneath of it and I closed my rock. And every now and then I poke my eyes out just to look how bad it's getting.
Yeah, but you got to get out there, right? And see it for real. Besides what they're portraying, like what's going on? What's going on in your town, in your county, in your state, right?
Oh, I'll wait until destruction occurs because I already know what's going on out there. It's a bunch of idiots running around in a rat race.
Oh yeah.
They
come out and get their little gerbil bit.
Yeah, one comes out to look at the piece of cheese, notices there's other people going towards the piece of cheese, so they start running and everybody slams on each other right next to the cheese pile.
Yeah.
and this giant greedy ass rat comes in and just picks up the cheese, eats it, and walks off, while the entire herd of rats are still biting and scratching at each other.
Oh yeah, first you gotta. That's how you do. You create the chaos with
Very,
divide, right?
I
And then
apologize, Brenda. Very true. Talk. I can't say this name right. Can you tell me how to iterate Talk's name?
hi, talk as.
Tolkez. Okay, but pretty much, yes, yes, sir. It's exactly like that. Once you've been on the other side of the door, you can come back. But once you've seen what's on the other side of the door, there's no not accepting what you've seen. There's no unseeing something. I dare you to unsee something. I apologize for cutting you off, Brenda.
No, no, I'm just listening. It's awesome.
I just noticed the chat said something and I had to reply.
Yeah, you got to interact with the chat.
Always have to be on top of everything.
How is Tuckens doing over there in? He's in London, right?
I'm not sure.
He's in England for sure. Where are you from, Tuckens?
I'm not exactly sure the answer to that question. We shall receive an answer if he chooses to at some point.
He says I'm cool.
Oh, yes, I noticed that. And he agrees with what I was stating.
Yeah.
UK.
It seems like where's what's her face go? Are they still in here? How many is in chat? I can't see.
YouTube says 4 people are watching. It states there are only 2 participants. StreamYard says there are 4 viewers.
Oh.
I have to be one of them because I have YouTube open, so there's only 3 viewers there.
Am I one of those?
I don't see the list of viewers, and since What's Her Face actually stated something, she became on the participants list.
Yeah. What should come in? Or is she busy with the kids? She's got.
Cammy just popped in, so she's now on the participants list. There's 4 people watching, so that means Talked, What's, and Cammy are my other viewers at this point in time.
Okay. Yeah, so we should have an interesting up to Christmas here. When do you
Yeah.
think all this? When do you think that Trump will finally concede, or
Honestly, I do think it will take him to be removed from the location at the time of inauguration because he can only stay there so long. And legally, if he's playing this 4D chess the way that he's supposed to be playing this 4D chess, he has to leave at that exact moment Joe Biden becomes.
Yeah. Well, he said one last thing he's going to do is bring down Hillary. So maybe that's.
543, y'all.
Does he have to be empowered to do this?
To bring down Hillary, I'm not quite sure, but the whole thing is that you can always go somewhere if you have a shrapnel of evidence that proves what you're stating and file a claim. It never means that it will go any farther than you filing the claim.
Yeah.
So that's what I can say about that statement. Any Joe McCartney can do that.
Yeah. Why do they think he's called in all these troops?
Because he's actually above the 5-star general and he can maneuver the pieces on the board, but he cannot declare war. And at this point in time, since he still has control, he's saying you move here, you move here, you move here, you move here, you move here.
Yeah.
So pretty much the answer is, as long as he has control of the pieces on the board, he will move them as much as he can.
Yeah, it's quite interesting how it's playing out though, the chessboard. More people are awake, I guess. I see a few people awake around me.
Yes, the increase rate of going from sheeple to awaken has decreased, but there is still more people becoming awakened every moment.
Oh, every minute, yeah.
And it's just the rate of decay, and it's the people that can accept it, and it's the people that will accept it.
And he's going to build a human wall of loyal military. That's what Trump is going to do, according to Watts.
I've read that.
Well, he sure had a lot of people at that march. Didn't you think?
I'm not sure what you're stating.
Uh, the Trump rally or the Trump gathering last week.
Always, always. I will state that whenever Trump actually holds a rally or something of sorts, that there's always more in attendance than there is on the other side of the aspect.
Well, I kind of seen it like the second coming, to say like so many people come out to him, like no rock stars ever gathered that many people at one time on the street.
Yeah, this is pretty much what I'm stating. And yes, they know but don't want to accept. That's considered cognitive dissonance there, talk dance.
Talkans should join into the chat.
He stated he was cooking.
Oh, he's cooking. Yeah, I have
Said
to be
something
getting.
about 5 minutes I'll ring.
Yeah, so we don't want that ear here. We put on a little bit of a tune. That's appropriate. I can't hear you, Curse. Curse.
Okay, just realized my shit is muted. Right at the moment, what's letting me know that my shit is muted. I have to actually turn this
I
up.
was about to type in, but I couldn't.
Yeah, that's not going to work too well because I can't hear Britta because the sound is coming out of the same location.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you now since I muted the music again.
Okay, yeah. I don't know how, but you just mute it.
So try to talk.
Hi there.
Yeah, I can't understand what you're attempting to iterate.
Yeah.
So you'll probably, if we're going to listen to music, you'll have to be like, hey, let a sound come through, and then I'll mute and be like, yes, Brenda.
Okay.
So we nothing else to do. I'll call in 2 minutes finishing omelet. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. And I'll just probably hit the mute button if I notice Brenda is wanting to state something.
I'll be good.
We're
Maybe
going through
I'll
the queue
chat
now. We're
when
checking where we are.
talk ends comes in, I'll go out. Oh, Jim
Hi,
Puddle.
Jim.
Hey, Jim, how are you doing?
So, just to double check, everybody can hear Brenda while my music is playing, correct? It's just I'm the one having the issue not being able to hear Brenda while the music is playing. That seems like what I think the problem
I
is.
said hi to Jim.
I said hi to Jim as well.
Yeah.
Let me get past this song because I don't want this song to play. It's a little too much. It's a little too explodey.
Yo, man, motherfucker trying to kill me, man. I don't know, man. I just want every cop, man. I think like the light, man.
Yeah, I try not to be distracted by the sheeple as well. The constant distraction that's going on. I don't like distractions because I have to progress.
We're in code red here, so everything is pretty much.
Where am I? What?
We're in code red.
We're in code red. Is that what you said?
Yeah, in Manitoba. So it's supposed to be a lockdown kind of thing, but not a lockdown. Everything's back to restaurants closed and things like that.
I've heard something like that a few miles from me that, what did they say was closed?
Almost everything but Walmart. I bet there's a Walmart open somewhere.
No, they said something was closed. I can't find it.
Okay, so Toys R Us are open because they sell baby food and diapers. I didn't know that.
That's insane. Sorry about that. I don't know exactly what to do with the music at this point in time because I'm trying to pay attention to Brenda. Brenda asked for music to play because of dead air.
Yeah, but that's okay. So Jem Puddle Duck says they're till December 2nd. So for here they have it for 4 weeks. So it'll be up till about the 13th or 14th of December, just 10 days before the holiday. But they have the schools open.
Okay. Oh, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was. She said. Now that you said something, I remember. They said that the schools are closed, and they don't think before long restaurants will follow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here they still have the schools open, and so kids are supposed to be immune to it, but they have them in masks and 6 feet apart. But everything else is shut down. Universities are opened. Like, yeah, it's kind of
I don't.
doesn't make sense, right? Like, none of this makes sense.
I can also state that at the beginning of things, there is so much information out there before they start blacklisting and blackballing stuff, and it disappears. Before I state this next statement, near the beginning of coronavirus, near like I would say June, April.
Yeah.
I think it might have been within our echo chamber, as Algo says, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
I came across somebody showing a document, which I also went to the website and looked at the document myself. So I've visually seen the website with the document on it. And it was stating that this will last from 2020 to 2025. How are you, Mr. Jones?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say 24, 25, the next 4 years.
Yeah, 2020 till 2025 is what the document had stated.
Yeah.
That this will last 5 years.
I checked out some stuff on the swine flu, so it was 2 years, and then that's when, in a uh, part of 1918, part of all through uh, 19, and halfway through the 20th, and then there was the Roaring 20s, right?
Yep, the Roaring Twenties occurred. Like I said, it's science for economy and population to boom whenever something catastrophic
Yeah, and
happens.
so then they had, after that they boomed in soap and pharmaceuticals, right? So they got their and better food, and so yeah, it was like a reset, and said that's exactly what's happening.
Mhm.
Even Trudeau said it's about the 20 filling the 2030 agenda, right?
Yes,
So this is something that we have to ride through, or we can fight through it, but reality is going to
honestly,
hit because
honestly, Brenda, I'll state this, and I believe I've stated this to several of my comrades, and I'll state that 2 years ago, the human race might have had a chance. Now, I don't see there being a plausibility that, as a whole, we're going to get out of this.
no, it's getting deeper, right?
Oh, yes, over a century, everything's been controlled by companies.
Yeah.
I
And
will agree with
so
that, Mr. Jones.
in who's going to be making all this stuff? China, right? Because
China, China,
because because Biden will be doing that, and so yeah, it'll be getting rid of the food eaters.
honestly, this ILO, this International Liberal Order, this Green New Deal, this plan that Biden has. And yes, the ILO is the new NWO for those who are not keeping up. The train has once again went into a tunnel and is no longer red. It is now yellow. It once went in, it was green. It went in, it came out, it became red. Guess what? The train went into another tunnel and it came out yellow. The ILO is now the NWO. So, progressing upon this reiterated subject again, they're basically going to make it so that these power plants and everything that we have are not producing the extra amount of carbon dioxide, which allows us and plants to be able to breathe more efficiently so that there is more oxygen in the air that is recycled. I can't read this while I'm speaking at the moment, but yeah, pretty much what they're going to do is destroy the extra inflow of carbon dioxide, which allows us to actually have the ability to continuously breathe as we are freely in more senses than one, because technically what the entire issue of plan is to make sure that air becomes a commodity. Now I will read this comment.
Okay.
Yes, this is also another very interesting factoid that I have come across, that this year is technically by the Mayan calendar date 12/21/2012.
Okay, so I'm stating that uh, in 2012, 12/21, that's when the gateway opened, and on this would be the seventh year, or no, ninth year. What year would it be since 2012? 9 years?
Uh, about 8 years. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Carson.
Okay, so then that's when I think that uh, we'll find out
what Donald's going to do. And because we are ascending, right? Like this is the ascension process that we're going through. And this virus is part of every time we shift and we have mucus and aches and pains or
Yes,
headaches,
but
and
in a sense,
that
this
is
is
part of
going
the
to be a
process, right?
grander shift, Miss Brenda. This shift is going to be grander than any of these minor shifts and these pre-quakes that we have been experiencing within these past 8 to 15 years. This
Yes.
next shift will be the pop. This
Yeah.
next shift will be the mirror cascading to the ground fully and re-emerging as one piece.
Yeah.
This is
Because all
exactly
the
what it is.
timelines are collapsing, right?
Yes.
It's merging, and
Instead of
the
thinking
frequency.
Instead
Yeah.
of thinking the universe as a bowl full of bubbled water, think of it as a mirror. All right.
Yeah.
What had happened is that somebody had smashed this mirror, and we became a single shard of this mirror. At this moment, we are in free fall, and when the mirror meets the ground, it will all form back together to a single piece. This is basically the theory of M theory at its conclusion.
Yeah. I like Jim Puddleduck's comment there. It's the fork in the path, the Hopi prophecy.
Yes, that's what made me state something about in technical actual terms, because we have screwed up the counting of time. It's actually 2012 in reality.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. So I'm saying from 2012, 12/21, and this 12/21 coming up.
This 8-year span of time was,
Yeah.
i.e., the 7 years of tribulation before the.
Yes.
I'm on you with this. Do you understand that I'm with you with this? I follow prophecy.
Yeah, I know.
We're waiting for 2 witnesses to be assassinated on a wall, which can mean pretty much anything. I've divulged it into several different ways because I'm sure somebody can correct me, but whenever he described tanks and helicopters, he portrayed them as animals. So we can never be completely sure whether or not he meant somebody would be dismissed, 2 people would be dismissed from the wall of the internet. Do you see how I just worked that into modern time, old time, saying prophecy?
Yeah. You're good at this.
And the entire thing is that after that, there was no denying this. There was no denying this. There will literally be an over 50-foot tall being staying on the coastline somewhere on the planet with flaming feet and a book. That is the moment that the mirror has hit the ground. The veil is shattered. There is no more veil. Everybody can see everything. And what I'm talking about, that shift, that specific shift, that pop occurring in this dimensional reality will cause a mass extinction of anybody not on par.
Well, the ones like the ones that are still stuck in this 3D, they won't have that on December 21st, like Jen's saying, when it's
No,
the big alignment, right?
That's
like,
what I
like so we have to understand that there's going to be so many people not.
That's what I'm trying to state. I'm not stating a specific date in which what I just stated will occur.
No,
but at some point in the near future, like in the 90s, the end is nigh. Now the end has arrived. At some point in time, the veil will drop, and the shock wave from the veil dropping will cause a mass extinction of anybody not on par. And I'm literally talking, it will be spontaneous explosion for many because of the shock wave that comes off of this whenever it occurs.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh,
That's what's going to annihilate 87% of the population, even though they're slowly trying to trickle it away if they choose to do so.
oh yeah, for sure. Hold on here. I'm trying to.
And I don't apologize if that's too devastating for any of our return viewers that is viewing this whenever they decide to view this after it's no longer live. I do not apologize for my words. I'm telling you the truth as I see it, because the people that I know I study prophecy from every angle, not just the Bible. Because you can't understand truth if you're only narrowing your vision with horse blinders to one subject.
Yeah, you gotta get it from aspects, right? Like that's what I do. I just journey and search, and something comes to light, right? Yeah.
I see someone has appeared. You can't understand truth if you're only narrowing your vision. Excuse me. I apologize. You are live now, Talk Dents. Whenever I see visual confirmation of something, I will unmute. Ah, visual confirmation was movement.
Hello, Zero. Brenda.
Yes.
Thing.
I apologize. You are live now, Talk Dents.
We've just got a bit of a delay.
Whenever I see visual, caller, turn down your radio. I will unmute.
Right.
Ah, visual confirmation.
He's got echo in the background there.
Yeah. Hello, Zero. Brenda.
Yes.
Oh,
He seems distant, doesn't he?
we've just got a bit of a delay.
Caller, turn down your radio. I will unmute. Ah, visual
Okay,
confirmation.
I'm going to pop out and
Okay, Brenda.
okay.
Brenda, don't go away.
Brenda said she wanted to leave anyway whenever somebody popped in.
Oh, man.
Is
No.
there a way you'd like to steer this conversation? I apologize if I make you repeat yourself because of your accent.
Brenda, don't go away.
Brenda said she wanted to leave anyway whenever somebody popped in.
Okay. Okay. No, what's happening
Is
is,
there a way you'd like to steer this conversation? I apologize if I make you repeat yourself because of
right, Zero.
Yes.
Oh, you see, what happened was, it happens every time because I'm coming from the UK and you're in America. Now, if you just leave it about a minute, we all level out and we can answer each other. But there is a delay at the beginning.
It is the international lag. Very understandable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you see, what happened was, it happens every time.
Where am I projecting from the delayed echo?
I'll tell you later, Zero, don't worry.
Oh, I'm on television. I completely understand now. Is there a way the caller can turn down their radio so we can have a conversation?
I'm watching you on a 70-inch TV here. You're in full splendor now, Zero, pal.
Yes, yes. Volume down a hair on your radio, please, and then we can continue.
No, I'm on a phone, Zero, but it will level out. Whereas we are literally talking to each other, but you have to give it a few seconds.
Okay, I'm with you now. My brain is registering what you're stating.
Yeah, we're getting nearer and nearer.
Yes. Volume down a hair on your
Yeah,
radio,
I've done that.
please,
I've
and
done
then
that.
continue
I've
on.
done that. I'm on a phone, Zero, but it will level out. Yeah,
Now
I've
we're
got it.
12 seconds behind instead of 38.
Yeah, it's just takes a bit of time and then we'll be able to talk man to man. Mano a mano, you know?
What is the direction you'd like to lead the conversation, Mr. Talkins?
Well, what were you talking about first? I'd like to jump in with you and Brenda, actually.
We was rambling. The last point of our subject that I remember is I was stating that I actually viewed a webpage at the beginning of this corona incident that stated we're going to go from 2020 until 2025, And then we got on to talking about 12/21/2012, and 2012 officially, technically,
I caught that.
by actual counted time, is this year is 2012.
Well, we can go really deep, but I'd like more people to be in the chat room to go really deep about time, because I think it's all about time. And we're running out.
Yes.
And we're running out of time.
Nothing can occur unless time is in existence. There is no motion.
Nope.
Not even a thought can be processed, because the milliseconds that it takes for the electronic pulses to go through the brain is time.
And it goes deeper than that, Zero. I mean, I've been into this for 20 years, ever since the, let's call them twin brothers, yeah? Ever since then, I woke up and I went down that rabbit hole, and oh my God, it cost me everything. People think I've gone nuts. People think I'm crazy. But I keep predicting the future, and they're getting spooked out with me, you know, and they don't want anything to do with me.
I've actually, the quake that happened in, I'll say, California on July 4th recently.
Okay.
One of my buddies named The Haunting, I actually was speaking with him exactly 1 month before that. And I told him, I'm going to be holding an event on July 4th. Let me know if your house rumbles.
Oh, and it's
that
going
was
to rumble.
roughly exactly 1 month before I went and did the event on July 4th, and there was an earthquake in California on July 4th while the event was occurring. Not before, not after.
While it was on.
While.
Crazy, yeah?
And the event was only, I'd say, 15, 25 minutes of duration. And while the event was occurring, the earthquake occurred.
Wow. So how did you come across that? How did you know that? Just for my own interest, how did you say to him?
I'll explain it this way. All matter is created by atoms. All atoms have a nucleus with protons and neutrons inside of it.
Yes, and all that.
Clouds floating around it. And inside of this electron cloud that is invisible to the human perception. Yet, everything we see is tangible and solid.
Even though it's held by light, isn't it?
Even though it is 87% not visual spectrum.
Exactly.
With this 87% not visual spectrum is as malleable as gold. If you choose to do so, you can cause what you wish to happen because of quantum superposition.
Well, that happened to me one time. I'm going to have to tell you about this. Are you talking about law of attraction kind of thing?
Yes.
What you put out. Yeah. Well, I was caught in a rainstorm in England, yeah? And it's always raining, pal. So I'm under this bridge and it's pouring down. And I said, there's no way I'd wear a woman's umbrella, pink and everything. I said, I need one of those little black umbrellas. And now this is a true story. I'd never lie online where people go, I swear to God, I would not lie. And it was pouring down. And I wished for one of those little pop-up, little black man's umbrella, right? I walked down the canal path, soaking, going to my mother's for Sunday dinner it was. And there, in the path, you can't make this shit up, was a black umbrella. And I went, no, that did just not happen. And that changed my life. And now, of course,
thought creates reality. Perception controls reality.
I don't know.
Gratitude is the secret.
Can I swear on it? It's fucked my head up, you know. It did.
Bloody fucking hell, man. You could say whatever the bloody fuck.
I'm glad, because I usually do on my streams. Welcome. So anyway, I seized this umbrella and I went, wow, this is crazy. I just wish for a black umbrella, and there it is. Not in the grass, not in a tree, right there in front of me. So I tried it with money and shit, but it didn't happen. So, but I do get you. Your intentions have got to be correct because it comes from the heart. You see,
yes.
God is in the heart.
I have an extremely very similar story to what you were stating. Something just appearing in front of you as you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with a person walking down the sidewalk. I was explaining how reality works, like I just did. And they said, because they were still at the sheeple level and I was trying to upgrade them, they said, you know, I haven't seen a raccoon in a very long time. We just so happen to have an extremely tall bush that we was walking down the street where the sidewalk curved. And I'm sitting there and I continue doing my talk. We turned the curve and I'm like, oh, look. And it was a fat ass motherfucking raccoon. I told you. I just made that for you. Are you good? You happy you seen a raccoon? You asked me to prove it to you, and I proved it to you. Because this is what I perceived from what the sheeple had said. You know, I haven't seen a raccoon in a very long time. I dare you to make a raccoon appear. You know what? There's your raccoon.
Well, I've got a story for you. I say to people say to me, you're one of those lucky people, you can fall from a high building and land in a rose bush, land on the pavement and come out smelling of roses. And I said, no. I said, it's just that I'm nice to people. People don't know how to be nice anymore. I said, what you put out, I said, the evil goes away from you. All the negative people, they start backing away. You don't need a gun. You don't need a fist. You don't need nothing. You just put positive vibes out, be nice to people, and nothing bad happens to me. Nothing. And I'm 55.
My friend, I work with Newton's second law of motion. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. If I am pumping out negative energy because I am a lawful evil,
I'm going to find you.
Like I've explained before, I'm a lawful evil. If I am pumping out negative energy, the universe will give me back an equal opposite reaction, which is the equal amount of positive energy.
Yes.
Second law of motion, equal opposite reaction.
Don't they say one atom's like 26 light years away and the other atom's another 26 light years away, but they can feel and then they create?
Quantum superposition.
Right. Well, I'm not as deep as you do. I'm not as up to scratch on that score. I must have.
I'm quite good at micro and macro science.
Right. Well, that's interesting because, listen, at the end of the day, nothing's real. I mean, I battled with this all my life. Have we been created as a real, living, tangible thing, you know, like a hard wooden table? Or are we just a mixture of atoms floating about and we're creating our own story? So I keep typing in the chats to everybody, right? I say, feed the beast what we want. And feed the beast, I mean, the atom, quantums, all that. The AI intelligence, I think that's controlling this realm now. I think we are being controlled by artificial intelligence right now.
I'm quite sure that somewhere in the middle of the 80s that a quantum supercomputer was actually created that started to begin the process. And near the end of the 90s, the reason why there was such kerfuffle around 2000 was because the computer was going to come online.
Exactly. And you know what's happening now? It's ruling by fear. Total fear. And it's realized that human beings scare easily, right?
Imagine a child that has super intelligence and can deduce anything at a microsecond has grown 20 years old.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But you know what they've done about that? They've took the indigo child away from the equation because what they're doing now is they're poisoning them with the water.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about a physical meat suit. I'm talking about a computer program that has grown for 20 years.
Right, okay.
That literally used Moore's law to grow, which is basically the way that we do technology will double in an exponential rate, smaller every year.
But if we are being controlled by artificial intelligence now, we are feeding through social media, through our feelings, through our emotions, through everything. We are feeding that beast. And I said from the very beginning, feed it nothing but love, harmony, love thy neighbour, all that carry on, and confuse it. Do you get that or not? Because not a lot of people get that.
Yes. Yes, essentially, for those viewers who have seen the very terrible movie Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme, you're attempting to do the Blanca effect, where the doctor was trying to feed him love and happy images, while M. Bison was trying to feed him chaos and war.
Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is what we're down to. It's order out of chaos. You know, what I'm not happy with is watching on TV every day America being divided the way it is. The way this left-right paradigm's going is just, oh, I feel like diving through my TV and just grabbing them by the neck and saying, look, do you realise you should stand together right now? Because you're being defeated, whether you like it or not. You know, there's no escaping this. I don't know if we can win this battle, you know, Zero. I really don't.
I'd like to state one quick thing real quick. Oh, don't you go away from me. Oh, okay. My brain made me almost forget what I was trying to say here. Politics are simple. Anything that divides the planet will cause its destruction, and countries divide the planet. We are all one human race.
Yes.
This is why I decided to divulge into religion. It's very fun playing with the sheeples at time after you've sheared them and smashed them 3 times and they get up and say, "Huh?" It's very entertaining sometimes.
It is. It is. But it can also be very dividing and frustrating, can't it? You know, definitely. I've got my best friend telling me, you are a mental person. Me, I'm a mental person, he said. And he said, do you know what his answer was? He said, this COVID doesn't affect me. He said, as long as I can go to work tomorrow, I'll be fine. I said, you've just told the world, right, you were happy being a slave. You're happy to go to work for peanuts.
I'm not a worker. I'm an asser. I sit on my ass all day.
I've not worked for 30 years, pal. It's not, you know. But in all seriousness, though, this guy he's like a little brother to me. He's like, I've known him for 35 years, and he was the youngest of 4 brothers. And he's just so not aware. And it frustrates me in the fights we have. I said, see, this is the divide that they're doing. There is no COVID. There never has been. This is a world reset. You've got to get your head around this.
Yeah, it's like you can't be a patriot anymore. And I apologize if that offended anybody. You can't be supportive of your country. You have to be supportive of your planet. Because if we do not come to the understanding that we are all individually planetary beings, exactly. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if we actually continue this chaos and it becomes worse than what it is now, but we become contained to ourselves where we cannot leave our planet, you know that giant scar on Mars? You kind of don't want the little poof, fling, to appear around your ass, do you?
Can I touch on something? This is where I've been battling with for about 6 months now. Do you know the flat Earth globe? I'm not going to go on about flat Earth. That's old news. But the firmament and the luminaries as stars and the planet's not real. Is anything real? I know they can't get to the moon. I know they can't land on the moon. I know that. In my heart, I know that.
Yes, it's a very grand debt that we have to gravity that the Earth and Sun has created towards us as a civilization. It does take extremely a lot of energy to even progress to the point of orbiting around the planet instead of being stuck on its surface.
Right.
I will also state to the firmament comment, I think it's how it's filament or something like that, more or less dome. I will state that there is individual domes across the planet that we cannot see, that we can pass through, but its form of separation is exactly what it is.
But zero, they called it in 1958. This is what threw me. I was thinking all spiritual and we can go anywhere we want. But physically, in the physical realm, that we're trapped in, and I think we're trapped in a soul-trapped physical realm, a slave system. I really do. They in 1958 called it Operation Goldfish Ball. Now that couldn't tell you anything more, could it? Operation Goldfish Ball. And what they did was Russia and America tried to blast the way out of this firmament because they realised they couldn't go any higher and they can't dig deeper than 7.5 miles down. And they went, we're trapped. So they started sending nukes up in 58 and apparently with the best fireworks show in the world. If you were living in Hawaii or whatever, that's yeah, honestly, if you look it up, Operation Goldfish Ball, and another one they give a devil's name, but we're not going into religion because I don't like it. So they tried to smash their way out, and they must have released 100 and between them, America and Russia, released 146 nukes to try and blast their way out. Now, Hillary Clinton in 2016, in one of her famous speeches, said, there's 18,000 cracks in our ceiling, but one day we'll break through. Now, I think these are evil, evil people, and they realise they're trapped on this realm, and they're trying to get out, and they're altering the timeline right now. They're trying to anyway. They're trying to alter the timeline, because I thought to myself, why else would they send nukes up there? They're not practicing nukes in space, surely. And then when she said that, there's 18,000 cracks in that glass ceiling. And then the Simpsons, as you know, always come up with a doozy, don't they? It showed them hitting a baseball, it cracked the firmament and water come down. You know, and it just, that's what gets me. If there is an artificial intelligence running this world, the Bible says it. It says, you know, you're on a flat, immovable plane under a firmament surrounded by water. And they keep going on about it. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm looking for
Well,
answers.
geodesics is a word that I hand to flat earthers and I walk away. But to your understanding of the cracking and not being able to get past the atmosphere, it is a speed concept. You must be going at a certain rate of speed in order to get past the atmosphere, because it does act like a barrier, incoming and outgoing. Because if you're incoming and you're not fast enough, guess what? You ricochet and you're gone.
Exactly. So the whole concept of space has gone to me. So it must be an inner something. It must be. Now I'm thinking it's coming straight from here, straight from the heart, you know? We are creating everything, our own prison, our own. I don't know if I'm right though, you see, because I'm always contradicting myself. And I suppose everybody in this chat's looking for answers, aren't they?
I'll restate another 3-part statement that I've created recently. Thought creates reality. Perception controls reality. Gratitude is the secret.
That makes sense. To me, anyway. That does make sense, yeah. What I put out, I seem to be getting all the time, every day. You know, if I'm a nasty bastard one morning and I wake up in a bad mood and I'm nasty, I have a bad day. But if I'm nice, I have a good day. So I suppose that works on a minor level. But what's happening here with this the convid, is just an all new level. But are the people who are running this show aware of what's really happening, or are they searching for answers as well?
I'll tell you right now, this is what I personally think. You know a magician trick? We'll do a card trick. Now we'll do one of them tricks where the curtain comes down, okay? This pandemic, this convid, is that curtain coming down. There's something going on that none of us can see what's going on until the curtain is gone and we see the end of the trick. Something is going on.
Oh, God.
It's basically watch this hand move while this hand does something else. Trick is going on, and this is my personal opinion behind what this pandemic is.
Okay.
It's the greatest trick in a magician.
So you think one day, and you know I'd love it to happen, the entire plane just goes wow, what is going on? And whether they're frightened, whether they get killed, whatever happens, I want this to happen because there's an agenda here. They don't stop the world for nothing. They know something's coming.
I will also say another statement that is quite deep and will cause many cognitive dissonances to explode.
Go on.
If you believe in fate, there is zero room for free will.
Well, yeah. Do you know what I've been saying? And you're right there, because I've been saying, I don't know what's going to happen. I said, but I know something is. I just don't care anymore. Just let it be. Let it be.
I have a goal. I must progress towards my goal. Everything that occurs is already preset in motion, and everything that I've chosen, that I had choice within these occurrences, has already been preset and chosen. So none of this equals free will. That both of them right there in conjunction annuls free will right there.
Yeah, ignore the left, ignore the right, and take your own path and just let it be. I get that. Yeah, I get that. I get that. That's great. Yeah, I get that. It's fear of destiny, isn't it? It's the heart. Like, so I keep coming back to the heart, going, just follow your heart and just. But it's frustrating when you've got family and friends, and like my mother, for instance. My father died a few years back, and she keeps going on about a will. And I went, Mother, I don't want money. I don't want the will. Don't want that. Leave it to my sister. I'm on my own journey right now. I don't need no money. I said, because in a few years, you're just not accepting the gravity of what's happening. You really think you're going to be millionaires or something. I know it's a bearer of bad news, but they're not. Money's going to go. They're going to ask for your coins first, then the paper, and then they're going to just take it out your account, and they're going to leave you starving. They don't care about us. People think, like government, to control the mind. They know how to do it with TV and films and what have you.
I'm going to add somebody to this call, and then I'm going to
please do. More than merrier.
Then I'm going to say about 2 to 3 paragraphs, and then I will allow them to speak.
Okay, and I won't interrupt.
So this is what I'm going to say. Hi Jim. The social credit score system was created and introduced by China, and it was moved to Australia, and the UK, England owns Australia. So once it actually physically moves to the United Kingdom, UK, it will become worldwide the instant it does. Because this is a test run in Australia right now of the social credit system, where you can go look it up. And I've said this for years, and it's going to piss me off if I ever have to walk into a store and buy something with my motherfucking face. Hi, Jim. It's your turn to talk for a moment.
No, I agree totally with that. I'm going to see what Jem has to say. But I agree totally with that. I don't go to the shop anymore. I won't wear a muzzle. I won't wear a satanic muzzle. I will not do nothing. Come on, Jem. What have you got to say about this? Come on. Get this conversation going.
Well, I was going to speak about something not about that.
All right. Well, it doesn't matter.
Please drive the conversation. I just gave you the wheel of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, a really bizarre thing happened to me with time. So we all have things happening with time. But this was like nothing else, and it's made me realize this really isn't real. It has to be like a program that keeps playing. Because I was outside and weird weather. We've got a.
But they can't control the weather.
Now. What? Can you not hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. I'm listening to you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we had a really warm day, and I was hanging washing, and I just suddenly was doing exactly the same thing, but it wasn't a memory. This was real. I actually stood in my garden in 1987 with a skirt that I had then, hanging it on the washing line, and just it was nearly too much. I couldn't process it. It was real. I saw my house. I could,
She
and I know
realized,
it
was this a flashback or was this a deja vu?
No,
Deja
there's
vu.
no more. It was more than that. It wasn't a memory. It wasn't a flashback. It happened. I actually was there for several seconds. And I know when it was. It was 1987 because I had a 6-week-old baby in the house. It was like being one person that's two people at the same time because I kept racking my brains later to think, when I was doing that, did a weird thing happen to me? Do you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's not the first time a weird thing with. I mean, we all have weird things with time, but I had this dream that I was standing in the village where I grew up, and it was back in time, and I saw my great grandmother, and she was a young woman, but she was living in her now, and it made me realize it's always now. And I was communicating with her, and she was sitting on this monument telling somebody else that she's seeing them again, and she was trying to ignore me, like she didn't know who I was. It's like she really could see me in her now. She really could see me, but she thought it was something weird. And later in time, she turned out to be a natural medium. She always had been all her life, but she'd hidden it because she was afraid when she was seeing things. So in that instance, which was just a dream for me, but for her, she actually saw me and was trying to ignore me. But I told my dad about this, and he sent me a photograph of back in the day in that village. And all of my life, that monument hasn't been there, and I had no idea it really was. And it's there in this photograph, and it's like, oh my god, that that was really weird. But the stepping back and doing exactly the same thing. At first, I thought, next time that happens, I'm going to use all my will to stay there. But if I did that, it would be 1987. I would have to live it all again, and I would still be here now. And would you even remember, or would it fade away? So that to me is like some kind of a glitch in the program that threw me back. And I don't know whether that's a choice as Mandela affected people that we've got, that we could, you could be flashed back and you would go for it. Imagine all that. I had a baby. Imagine all that love. And compared to what we've got now, it was so tempting to, I'm going to try my very best to stay. But then I thought, oh, fuck, imagine living that all again and still being here. It's a trap.
It is
So
a trap.
if that kind of thing does start to occur, you've got to be aware of all the fucking traps and everything.
If you continuously choose to go back, you'll be caught on that loop of going back.
Yes,
Yeah.
Zero. That's what I think too. Paul.
Trust
We're
me,
in a
trust
trap.
me, Chronomancer.
But no, I don't have to trust you. That's what I say. We're stuck in a soul trap. I type it in every time I'm in everybody's chat, you know. We are in a trap. We can't get up.
It's not real. It can't be real if it can glitch to, if time can fuck up to the point where your consciousness can enter you at any point. Then
So
it
what's the answer, Jen? What do we do? What do we do? Give up our lives and go what? What do we do? This is what always confuses me.
yeah.
If we're in a soul trap, how do we get out of it? Now,
I think being aware of it's the first step.
Yeah, be aware of it. Definitely.
Yeah. And look
Definitely.
for every trap.
Absolutely.
The more you're looking for glitches, the more you're seeing them. But it seems to me that every single time we have a big shift. Sorry, you talking? Talking heads?
No, I'm not.
All right. Every time we have a massive shift, we have little ones of our own, and we seem to have big collective ones. And when we have a big collective shift, we seem to go to an even shitter place than we were in before.
Wow.
And my son pointed something out. He said, do you think, because everything's upside down and back to front now, do you think that we have to descend to ascend?
Ooh.
Kind of.
Well, there's a film out called The Platform. I don't know if you've seen it, you guys, but Zero, you'd love it. and Jem, you'd love it. It's called The Platform. It's in Spanish, so people just switch it off and they haven't watched it yet. But they wake up on a level, two people.
I have seen it.
Have
Yeah.
you seen it? It's
Yeah.
fantastic. And
Yeah.
basically, they're telling us you ascend and descend, and it. But like you said, you have to descend to a hell of it, and at the end, it goes right to the basement. That's what scares me, because I think we're in the basement now, but apparently we're not. So I don't know.
Yeah. I think it can get a
Zero,
good
you have to watch the film,
film
pal.
worse than this.
Platform.
All right, I'll iterate that we have less than an hour left of this live stream's maximum that I had set.
Okay. I'll go. I'll go
With
on
an
that.
hour.
No, I'm just stating that we're at the 49 minutes remaining mark, roughly, of this live stream that I
You
have.
want someone to come on and I'll get off?
No, I'm just stating this. Pertaining to what the subject is at this point in time, there is a playlist on my personal YouTube where the name of it is From the Beginning of Creation to Present Day.
Yeah.
And there's a list of videos that literally bring you from the beginning of creation to present day. The last video takes you from Atlantis to present day. So everything behind the last video is from the beginning of creation until Atlantis.
To Atlantis.
If you play it, if you go into it and you hit play and you have it so that ads do not interrupt you, this will take you less than 24 hours to complete.
Right. Well, I'll do that. I will do that. I've got plenty of time on my hands. I will do that. Just one question for you both. So, are we in a computer simulation on a time loop, or are we spiritual beings, or what? What do you think we are? I mean, I'm torn between two things. We're on a atomic.
I will let Jen answer first.
Yeah, like Zero says, I'm with him as well on the atomic equation, and then with Jem on a loop. I just do not know. So, what do you think?
All I was going to say was when you said before, you're full of contradictions, and that's where I'm at. I'm full of contradictions. I do think this, and I do think that. And I stopped going down any kind of rabbit hole or seeking my information, that I wanted. I just stopped doing that because in the end, I'm just so overwhelmed by so many different things that it's not coming. It wasn't coming from me.
Yes, we're on information overload. We're on information being put in us all the time.
And everything seems feasible, and that makes me think it's a simulation even more. Because whatever you look into, you will find irrefutable evidence for that thing, whatever you look into.
Do you agree, Zero? Do you think that too?
I agree firmly with her final statement. If you are looking for something, that is exactly what you will find.
It is. Yeah.
Okay, so to elaborate upon AI versus spiritual.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I personally depict reality as, from my understanding, what I've experimented with, what I've come to the conclusion of through these experiments and hypotheses. I can't say that word. That's one of the words that escapes me. Okay. So, continuing forward, we can only observe what we are perceiving. Each one of us individually only has within the RAM of the computer that we are simulated inside of our visual view of perception. Like, only this room that I see exists right now. The foyer does not exist. Outside does not exist. My hallway doesn't exist past the point of my observation.
I get that.
That's exactly what it is. And as I move, my bubble of simulation that I am within moves with me as my perception. I am the spiritual being trapped inside of this bubble of a simulation.
Right. I agree.
We agreed. Now, I'm not going to say all of us agreed to this. I will state a vast majority agreed to this coming here thinking that it was a university. Very few of us know because of past experiences, which many will call past lives from their point of view,
Yeah.
many will know that this is an upgraded prison planet.
Yeah, of course, I think.
This is not
Oh.
your standard run-of-the-mill prison planet. This is a
This is the
super
bottom.
extreme. This is a 4-star maximum security.
This is a maximum security, shackled up all day long, this one, isn't it? So how do we get out?
Did you see the episode of Black Mirror where the girl has committed some crime and she's put into a room, and in her mind, but it's only for a couple of minutes. But actually, she's just living out all this time in a completely bare room.
Oh man!
Is
Well,
that everything else
the
on
writer
Black
of
Mirror?
Black,
Right.
the writer of Black Mirror stopped writing any more episodes, and they said, "Why have you stopped writing Black Mirror? It was one of the #1 on Netflix." And he said, "Because every episode has already been written now. There's nothing else to tell." He said, "This is it," and that's what scared me. He said, "Whatever's coming, I've already written." So we are. I think we are in a simulation. I really do.
Yes,
It doesn't mean
we're
we're not
conscious
spiritual
spiritual
beings at the same time, does it?
we are conscious spiritual beings that are parts of separated consciousness of an actual reality that have been subjected and thrown into this simulation.
Yeah. Do you ever remember somebody called Occult 101? Occultism 101. He used to do some brilliant videos. And what he said was, you've been trapped in a simulation. And he said, it's the black cube of Saturn, because they all wear the black cubes, don't they? It's the 369 of the cube of Saturn, right? So, like, you find the Jews, they nod their heads to Saturn with a black cube on their heads. Well, the cube signifies 369, which is time, space, width. That's all you need to live, to exist. And they say if you unfold a cube, it comes the cross. So that's why they go, the Jesus cross is your escape from the cube. You have to break the cube. It's weird because Saturn has the is it called an oxygen zero? You'll have to help me out. I'm a bit tired now. It's late at night. You know what I mean?
Saturn is technically the projector. The moon is technically
Thank you. Saturn to the moon.
The picture.
That's right. Saturn to the moon to us. Now, when we look at the moon, it's a reflection of us. Right?
I don't know
And
about
the
The entire surface of
that a little bit, and I thought, oh, come on. I'm not
No, seriously, it's mental how deep you can go on this rabbit hole. Really, sometimes I wish I'd never gone there.
That's the whole understanding that we are not this.
No,
I'm not harming myself on camera. I'm trying to present a point.
we are light.
We're actually energy that is controlling this meat suit. That is exactly what each and every one of us are, but it's difficult for the vast majority of these.
Yeah, to understand it.
I
wasn't trying to harm myself.
Really negative.
I was not trying to harm myself. I was just trying to make a
No,
point.
no, I knew that. Who's putting us in the meat suit?
I think
Zero, who's putting us in the meat
an
suit?
organic spirit temple.
What, Jen?
I don't think it's a meat suit. I think it's an organic spirit temple in which to experience a physical reality.
They say your body is your church. You see, people think going to church is thingy, but it's not. You shouldn't harm your church. You should keep your church pure to move up the ladder, I think. But they say every time you make this kind of assumption, you will move up that ladder. But how many lifetimes am I going to have in here? I don't want to be here. It's horrible.
No, something really big's happening now. This is not like this is, something really big's happening. I don't think it'll be rinse and repeat after this.
No, I don't think so.
But this is the end, and this is why we chose to come and
Do
experience.
you think it's a second death then, and then we're off?
The second death. See that?
Yeah, well, that's what they say,
being
second.
Mandela affected, I always go back to what I thought at first, which was that I'm dead. You know, it's like everything just like keeps. I'm always telling people that I'm dead.
But isn't it funny,
Just-
Jem? You're here right now.
Oh, it's 'cause
You're
you're
here
dead.
right now. You, me, and Zero are here right now. Doesn't that mean something? We could have been born in First World War, Second World. So we must have a reason for being
As
here.
well. Yeah, and there's a reason why Mandela
I was
affected people all
actually,
come
I
together
was actually
in the way that
promised
they
that
did.
within
And so
this
I've always
life,
known each other too, and it's like that's fucking weird. You don't do that with strangers. No.
Sorry,
But we
Zero, what were you saying? What were you saying?
I was actually promised that within this lifetime,
Yeah.
that I'd see the downfall of what society is.
yeah,
I've
because
got
it
this
doesn't
bad
matter.
feeling we are. We're going to see like revelation, but not religiously
You're meant to
revelation.
observe it. There was a recent Mandela effect, Twilight Zone, and it was uh, that was a clear message to observe because that's what it's changed to. Observe, if you will, or witness, if you will.
That's what
And,
Zero's
and
saying.
it's actually telling us that we're supposed to be
Great.
observing it now and not being opinionated about the circus because that's what all of that is. It's a circus. And it's just
It is.
keeping you involved and keeping you in 3D and pulling you in when you've got opinions about things. You need to observe and not be opinionated because it doesn't fucking matter.
Oh, I'm not opinionated at all. Not to anybody, any man, woman, child. I'm not. I
Yeah,
think
but
it's all
I
pathetic.
got drawn in with even
No,
American
I'm really not.
politics over the Trump and Biden thing, and
I know.
I'm
It's
really
pathetic.
not. But that drew me in. They pulled out a really big one there to to get everybody's attention.
Mm. Big circus. But they're really irrelevant in this story, aren't they, Zero? You know?
Actually,
Aren't they, Jem? They're
yeah,
really
we can play around in
irrelevant.
that as long as
2 minutes, 42 seconds.
the time has come where we need to, start.
Hi, Cammy.
And I think it's about time we all grow up and go, look, Trump's in bed with Biden, Biden's in bed with Trump. They're all at the same game. But what do they know we don't? What do they know we don't?
Exactly. They're all together in this giant cesspool of lies and blackmail, man. I'm telling you right now, the only reason why Trump was even allowed to be considered as a name on the ballot is because they have a scrap of blackmail on him.
It's because he's great entertainment and no other reason.
He's a clown.
No matter what they've got on him, all of that is irrelevant. Everything, it's all irrelevant. It's whether you get involved in those storylines and drag yourself back into 3D because it's like the Hopi prophecy. It's the
So,
separate.
Jem, are you thinking religiously now? Like there is a creator and we've been created and we all project things and stuff? Or do you think we're caught in just a simulation sim?
Well, this is a contradiction. Can it be
See, I
both?
don't know. I'm confused. I'm not saying it like, I'm just saying I really don't know.
No,
I'm leaning
That's
towards
what
a
I'm saying as
computer
well.
simulation.
May I interject? May I interject? Because I need a clarification to your question there, Talking X.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the creator of the consciousness inside of your meat suit, or are you talking about the creator of existence?
No, because the creator of our meat suit isn't a good person. So if you talk about the concept of God, he couldn't possibly be doing this. Think about that.
Okay, so
suffering.
You're talking about the consciousness that is
Yeah.
within the meat suit, the creator of that entity?
No, or whoever programmed the program in the first place must have been, I don't know. What gives us free? Everything's contradictory. We'll never find the answer.
Yes,
I think the best thing to do is not divide and be nice to each
This is from one of my most intelligent students. This was his final essay. It's a race we cannot win. Everything has been that we think of has been thought of by a human because the words we are stating has already been used and thought of by humans, and anything that we decide to explain beyond that understanding, i.e. concept, cannot be fathomed. And there we go again, trying to explain a concept, a human word.
And it's the buffering on your screen, isn't it? And the, you know, on the Google, and it's just round and round we go. Never, ever get an answer. It's the chicken and the egg.
Hey,
Yeah,
the
we are
chicken
getting
was
answers
first.
that when we all, you know,
I can
become
answer some of these rhetorical
Mandela affected, that's when a different journey began. And if we'd gotten all the answers overnight, bam, like that, it just would have been. You needed the experiential
Yeah.
aspect to it as well.
That's a good point, that. We need to keep learning, don't we?
I can answer a lot of rhetorical questions. Like we'll bring up one.
Go on.
If a tree falls in the woods
Do we hear it?
and nothing is around to hear it, will it make a sound? The answer is no. The tree will not make a sound because sound demands an observer just as well as a producer.
See, I'm into that.
No,
I'm into that.
Yeah, but the other thing is, it's vibration. If there are no eardrums to pick up the vibration, then it can't be heard.
Well,
If
that's
there's
another
no
thing.
observer, there is nothing that occurs.
Yeah, but listen, Zero, sound and vibration create as well, because you're saying if you can't see it, it's not there.
I'm not
But
saying the
you
energy.
can hear somebody come past with a pram, pushing a child down outside your front door, or a car pipping its own, and it's there. And he said that was me driving the car.
Because it's in your awareness. Only anything in your awareness, you know.
Man, this is mad. This is mad. He's sending me word.
Okay, Brenda has.
But this is the whole thing about why we didn't have the answers before, and it hasn't ended. We're seeing more and more things, and there are more and more paranormal stuff happening to all of us.
You know why we're getting paranoid, though? Because
it's taking us somewhere this now.
Brenda quotes me here from the YouTube chat. We are a creation of Creator. Okay. I'm going to define Tulpa very quick, very simple. Tulpa is a creature that an entity, excuse me, not a creature, an entity that is created through belief and exists because it is fed by belief. Now, okay? I just pointed directly at Shiva, Odin, Thor, Yahweh, Lucifer, Hades, Hermes, etc., 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 etc. These are all Freddy Kruegers. They feed off of your belief in them. They feed off of your belief in them in order to even exist.
But do they exist?
That's the thing. There is so many sheeple out here that
are creating them,
that believe they exist.
Right.
Now, do not get me wrong. There was a real life entity named Yahshua Yusuf Ben-Hur, as well as I have studied up on a real life entity that went by Buddha, was quite very big, and lived to like 200 and something years old because of the way he breathed.
Really?
Simply because of the way he was breathing.
Yeah,
he lived like either over or nearly 200 years old. Now, these are not Tulpas for the simple fact that they was on this rock and walked it like we did.
Yeah, and I think they're still here.
And Yahshua Yusuf Ben-Hur is the actual meat suit that was superimposed upon to become Jesus Christ. And as I stated, Yahweh in the list of Odin, Thor, etc., that was the capital G God from Christian religion. That's one of his many names.
They're aspects of yourself. So if you know, if you
aspects. It's a reason we can't win. We're trying to explain things that are beyond our comprehension.
Of yourself.
It's going in. No, Jem, right, what I'm saying is, right, do you know God? They say he spoke the world into existence. Yeah, do you know, spoke the world into existence? It's all sound and vibration. It's all the mixture of atoms and nuclear. Do you get
it? The transfer of energy. That's what it is.
Transfer of energy, yes. But I just want to know the fool that put it down in writing in the oldest book in the world. That frightens me to death, that Bible. It frightens me to death. Do I believe it? not really. But I do believe there's creatures somewhere, and they could possibly come up because in our consciousness we are creating them. One day we might find a big
Exactly what
dinosaur
Dino
running
was
down
saying. Yeah.
road. Do you get me?
Yeah.
But why are people waking up all of a sudden? But what have they done? They have censored everything. Every conversation like this, they will censor. And we're still here on YouTube, and it sounds a bit contradictory, but by tomorrow morning, in my playlist, this video will be gone. Because they don't want people to wake up,
Yeah, they're
you know?
talking about
So they're hiding something.
censoring people's personal emails and texts. I don't. That's something I heard. Rumor. But
No, I won't put it past
surprised me
the,
that. Yeah,
the
it's
evil. I love
stuff.
watching films like, Lord of the Rings.
30 minutes before we're closing up shop, guys. 30 minutes.
Okay, Zero. Thanks a lot. Anyway, it's been brilliant. We'll have to do this again tomorrow, Paul. Hey, we'll do this again tomorrow.
I go live whenever I feel like going live. I make sure to let everybody know what part
You're
of
more
the hour.
chilled than the rest.
Oh yeah, man.
Exactly. We can swear.
I've retained a level of calmness from not having my human with me anymore.
No, I'm just sick to death of people being afraid of the neon god they've made. Now play Simon and Garfunkel's record. The neon god they've made. They have created a neon god in the sky that listens to everything exactly, Zero. And
Well,
Gemma,
that when we're talking to each other now, when we're doing anything, we're aware of it.
yes, we are. But listen, we're all frightened to talk. We're all going, oh, can I say fuck? Oh, can I say bloody hell? Oh, fuck off. In it though. I'm sorry, Gemma, if I've offended you with language, right? But that's what we're about these days.
I make sure
I don't
to.
think Gemma's bothered. She's a northern girl like me.
I go through my settings on my YouTube before we actually get the turkey in the oven and rolling and everything. I go through every single specific setting, and I make sure to warn YouTube. No, I don't want it age restricted, but this is not for children.
No, definitely not. They'd have switched off by now and be playing on Legoland and that. They don't care anyway, do they? And at the end of the day, does it matter that there's those three? Does it matter that there's those three or 3,000? Because the majority of them 3,000 don't fucking understand what we're talking about anyway. Do you get me? I don't care about them people.
It seems meant that all of us have found each other, and even if you don't speak to anybody for months, they still know you. And there's this group now.
Exactly.
And, there's a reason.
And I found Zero at Patrick's group the other night. I found you at another group the other night, and Brenda, but she scooted. But I will always find you because attraction, Zero, law of attraction. Remember?
Yep. Ignorance is bliss. When you become ignorant of another entity's ignorance, you become double blissful. That is 3 words. Double blissful.
And I'll bet you any money us three find each other in certain chat rooms. I'll bet you any money.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, listen, it's been lovely. Do another one, Jen. Host your own. I don't know how to do it because I'm only on a phone, so I'll mess it up. I'll mess it all up. But it's been brilliant talking to you, and I'm going to scoot. Zero, be cool, brother.
Yeah, Troops talk.
See you, Emma. Thanks,
Bye.
Zero.
Yep.
Thank you, Mama.
Yep.
Look me in the eyeball. Next time a pistol ain't a fist at the drywall. Next time, there will be no next time. I apologize, even though I know it's lies.
What's up, guys? I gotta reset this real quick. Where are we at? Going right here.
Just gonna stand there and watch me
We got just about 25 minutes to round around, y'all. Just about 25. All right. I'm going to leave y'all with one of my classic sayings. It's an oldie, but a goodie. You ready? Everybody ready? Because this is what I want those who have made it this far in the video, after the video has closed, in the comment section below, if you made it this far, the word is mustard seed. Okay? Now here's the oldie but goodie classic quote of Curse Zero. Faith of a mustard seed can move a mountain. Knowledge of that same mustard seed will move the planet. Trips.